why Meet the Others podcast? What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
We
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards. Gives me comfort. So
I hear you.
yeah. So anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, so they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live, cause we die alone.
Hey.
Yo, welcome to Meet the Others podcast.
It is me, Choir Boy Dank, and
Anissa B.
we are here to put you up on some things.
Some thanks. That's first and foremost. Happy New Year, my friends. Thank
Happy
you
New
guys
Year.
so much for whoever has subscribed to our channel, followed us on Facebook, Instagram, wherever the heck we are, and you guys
YouTube.
have followed us. We love you all. Seriously. Thank you.
100%.
Yes.
Yes. And if you haven't yet, go subscribe to those things. Give us a like. Let us know what you're feeling. Comment on the podcast that you like the most.
Yeah.
What kind of things you like.
Or the one you like the worst.
The one that you hate. 2023 is upon us. So
It's the year of alignment.
there you go. I like that.
Yes. So how was your holidays? Do you care to share?
I care to share. I always care to share.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they were great. I mean, I think that overall they were amazing. You know, I mean, honestly, for me, the holidays is just about being around family, being around good people, and giving my kids way too much crap.
Yes.
And my kids got way too much crap. I saw my family. We hung out. So, success.
Yes.
What about you, honey?
I had a little bit of grieving here and there, and because of that, I get easily triggered. So there were days where I was triggered, and there were days where I was really in a happy mood. But most importantly, I love to watch my kids open gifts. That's like my favorite thing. I think that keeps me very like stable with my emotions. You know, like I don't feel as sad because I am able to see my kids like open gifts and be happy and cheerful. So
Yeah.
it's like kind of washes away that emotional roller coaster of grieving that I did during the holidays. So if you're like me and you did a little grieving, we're here together. I see you. It's all right. We're overcoming the holidays now, so we can move forward and grieve the way we do on a regular basis. That was a word, no?
I don't know.
Oh, damn. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm just drinking my coffee, guys. Okay? Give me a minute.
Just waking up.
Just waking up. So good morning. So what's new, hon? What did we come on here to share with our friends?
What did we come on here to share? Something.
Oh, shoot.
Nah, I think that one thing that we definitely wanted to talk about was the alignment, the onlinement
yes.
of empowermycloset.com.
Yes.
So that's super cool. I'm super there you go. Yeah, super excited to see that thing come to fruition, see some of all those products up, ready to go, you know?
Yes.
And not only that, just to know that we've vetted it all out, right? Like these things are quality hoodies, quality tank tops, quality shirts.
Yes.
Crop tops. I didn't try out the crop top myself.
I'm trying to get him to do it, guys, but he just will not budge.
You know, maybe one of these days I'll wear the crop top on the podcast. But yeah, no, so we're super excited about that being launched and live. And if you haven't yet, go check it out, empowermycloset.com. We have a lot of a lot of cool merch things that my wife has curated together to for what purpose? What is the purpose of this drop?
Well, so it's definitely a mantra that I used to say, but it's something that I used to definitely say when I was in a domestic violent relationship for many years. So it's a really huge part of domestic violence awareness and trying to get the word out there and just supporting a survivor, and making a difference and trying to reach out to different organizations that also have domestic violence awareness and can kind of like create more voice out there, a huger voice, a louder voice for people who may still be going through some domestic violence today. And their families and just everyone, like all the victims involved in it. So yeah, that's basically where that all kind of stems from.
And how are you doing that? How is so I feel like there is a piece of this the proceeds are going to
there's some proceeds are going to be going to programs that help with domestic violence awareness and the programs for victims and stuff like that. There's a percentage that goes to them.
That is super cool.
Yes.
That is amazing. So so did you want to share anything about, like, I feel like we was talking just last week about some of the different, just me and you privately about some of the stuff that you're seeing, some of the stories that you're hearing about, some of that stuff. Did you want to talk about any of that stuff?
I just was kind of scrolling through my TikTok and I came across this one female who was actually pregnant, and she kind of broadcast a little bit of her domestic violence relationship on TikTok, and she had finally gotten away and she was pregnant, and I don't want to disclose her name or anything like that because I feel like that's privacy for her family, especially through this time. And she was pregnant, and she ended up getting away from her abuser, which was the father of her unborn child. And I guess he convinced her to meet up with him for one last time, and he shot her and killed her while she was pregnant. Goodness. So of course it got me into my feelings, and I always want to like figure out different like strategies on how I can help. I don't know why sometimes I feel like I could save the world, but I know I can't. But I was like kind of doing a lot of research on like how much like how like crazy domestic violence is, and how like it's a huge thing. And I had like kind of wrote down some like stuff.
Yeah.
If I can share them.
Yeah.
But like definitely this gravitated towards me because I'm one of these people, and it's basically like nearly 20 people per minute are going through physical domestic violence with their intimate partner, which adds up to 10 million people per year.
Yeah, that's staggering. That's huge. That's
a huge number.
Insane number.
And that includes men and women, not just women, because sometimes I feel like we only focus on women as being abused. But I also follow a few TikTokers who have been abused that are men. And really? It's definitely something that men don't come forward because, as we spoke about before, unfortunately, that's like,
oh, well, yeah, there's
pride,
a huge, yeah, I think that there's, men don't feel comfortable kind of sharing that side of their story. I think that, it's, men have a lot of pride, and they don't want to act like that could happen to them. And I think that on the flip side, I think that women, there's a large percentage of them that probably feel the same way too.
Oh, I was one of those women.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you something. From my experience, being a victim, which I hate calling myself a victim or a survivor. I am a warrior. I made it out. I'm good. I'm glad I made it out. I still have to deal with certain, traumatic depression and stress and doubt from my abusers. But at the same time, I'm here and I'm stronger than ever.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of times where I had a broken arm, a hand to the wrist broken. And here I was saying it was a basketball.
Yeah. And I think that's a very relatable thing, right? I think that a lot of people that are going through that stuff figure out ways to cover it up. Oh, it's fine. Oh, it's not this. It's that. Yeah. And I think that there was something to that same degree that you was telling me about, that is that a lot of victims they worry about themselves last, right? And they're worried about putting their families at risk and all of these other things. I think it's just important. I think that there's a lot of strength in it takes a lot of strength just to even admit that you're going through that type of thing, because you don't know how that could affect your family, yourself, your kids, any of that stuff.
Well, yeah. And that's definitely, a lot of fire that caused me to even move forward with this Be Strong collection in the first place was because, unfortunately, when you have children, your children are affected.
Yeah, for sure.
And I wasn't fully 100% aware of what might have been going on fully, like the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And so now that I am aware of how much that affected my child, that affected, his upbringing, his ways of thinking, it pissed me off. It made me angry.
Rightfully so.
And it made me feel like I need to put that voice out because, unfortunately, he did not speak up in that time.
Yeah, to you during the situation.
Because honestly speaking, as crazy as this sounds, and this is coming from an abused woman's point of view, I was fine being abused. But when it came to my child, that's where I draw the line. And I honestly felt like angry. I wanted like revenge.
Yeah.
But the only revenge that I'm going to get today is by spreading the word and letting other people know that it's okay to open your mouth, to speak, to try to get help, even if you fall in the same situation again.
Yeah.
Because that's a pattern too. That's unfortunately for, survivors or victims going through it. We constantly go back and forth to our abuser because we don't know what love is. And a lot of times we're seeking love from the wrong places, from the wrong people. And we don't know. And we think that's love because we're getting that attention. And of course they love me, even though they're shaking me up and pushing me and calling me names.
Well, to some degree, I think that there's a lot of psychology in thinking that is love. And a lot of people grow up in homes where that aggression is shown, right? And it's a cyclical thing that it's like, oh, well, this person cares about me. That's why they're getting so aggressive, because they're passionate about how this and that. And
oh, he's so jealous.
Yeah.
He doesn't want me in an elevator filled with men. Oh my God, he loves me so much. That is
and that's
poison.
It's poison. That's a perfect word for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it took a lot for me to realize that was poison. Like,
and I think that's what the powerful thing about having these type of conversations, right, is to be able to kind of share your story, share those ideas and things that you go through, because it's easy to say, well, I deserve this. Oh, I put myself back in the situation.
Right.
This is kind of what is for me. And this is like, I deserve this type of this love, right? This is what is natural to me, a lot of people, you know what I mean?
It's crazy to say this, but after my hand was broken, all the bones in my hand were broken, twisted hand, like fingers twisted to the other side, like looked crippled. Immediately, my hand did that. I stayed with my abuser for another 5 years. Because you know why? Because I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't have went through his phone. Maybe I shouldn't have picked a fight. Maybe this is my fault. Maybe, you know what? At least he still loves me. I'm a mom and I have a lot of baggage and I got a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And I had to have reconstructed surgery go through physical therapy while I was in college with a little baby. There was a lot going on, and I still found so many excuses for why I deserved it, you know?
Yeah.
But I've known other situations that were going on while I was working and when I was at school, I probably would have left a long time ago. And we could get woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Who knows?
Yeah, which is funny because I think that goes back to that thing that we were saying earlier. Like, it's crazy to know that so many people that are going through this feel that it's fine for them to go through it.
Right.
But if it's their family members or someone else gets affected by it, then that's almost a bigger wake-up call, which I think we need to spread the word and make it very apparent that you don't deserve that.
No, you need to know your worth.
You need to, yeah.
And that's something that
for yourself.
I definitely have been working on now.
Yeah.
And it really, really, honestly, for me, it took a lot of chaos happening in my life, like in the recent time, for me to realize that my worth was so important. Like losing my dad, like, I don't know why, but like there was just this other wake-up call, for me to be like, hey, get up, be strong, like,
yeah. And I feel like you have a story about kind of that side of the Be Strong story too, with your dad.
Yeah, like, so I've always been honest. If you go on my Instagram, Anissa B Strong, I struggle with mental illness, and I'm always kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. That's just been my life since I was a kid. And I used to always kind of like have conversations with my father, ask for advice, Dad, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, or whatever. And I just remember there was this one time I was telling my dad that I'm going through like a weak point in my life. And I was a probably pre-teen age.
Yeah.
So I had no children. I wasn't in an abusive relationship. So I was just, going through what teenagers go through during that, time in their lives, and all that self-doubt, self-hate, questioning myself of who I am. Do I belong here? Why am I born? All those questions that come as a teenager. And I just was talking to my dad, and I was really down, and he had just gotten like this printer. I don't know what to call it, because it's not a printer. Like, I don't know. It is a printer, but it's like, it's not stickers, but something was printed out. And he first printed out my name, Anissa. And then the next printout, he printed out Be Strong. And it was in the font of that Volkhorn, which I put on all my fonts because it's in homage for my father. And I remember looking at that sticker and being like, Dad, you forgot the E, and, like joking around with him. And he was like, well, I just want you to know that you need to be strong. And he's like, no matter what you're going through, you need to be strong. Like, you can overcome it. You're a warrior. You have warrior blood. Like, all these, things he would tell me, affirmations of like trying to make sure that I knew I was strong and I was worth it. Of course, I was a kid, so, I didn't really like fully listen always, but I have those stickers somewhere. I can't find them, but they're so important because as I got older and I was faced with abuse over and over again that I was hiding, that I kept from my family for a very long time, even though they had some like ideas, like they were like, something's wrong. But of course I was defending my abusers because that's what I knew at that time to do. I don't know why, but anyways, the mantra that I would use would be strong. And I would use that in my head over and over again. Because I was going through certain situations where I was really, really scared and I did not know how to handle them. And I tried my best, and I was like, I need to be strong through this. I need to act smart, but I need to be strong and get out of this.
Yeah.
And I used that mantra quite a bit. And then when I met you, I felt like I no longer needed to use it. So like many years passed, and I felt like I didn't need to use this mantra anymore. Like, I felt like this mantra was used to defend myself for myself.
Yeah.
And then when my dad died and I had to deal with more difficulties, I could see and feel myself creep back into a really deep, dark depression. So I started to like use that mantra, and instead of using it inside and not ever like verbally saying it out loud, I said, I'm going to attach this to my name like my dad did, and I'm going to use it out loud now. And this mantra is going to be useful not only for domestic violence awareness, but for anyone who's going through any mental illness waves and they feel lost, trapped. I want you to know that being strong for me does not mean to get up every day, puff your chest up and be like, "Rah!" No, being strong for me is cry if you have to, but get through it. Stomp on the ground each day. Don't allow yourself. If you're standing vertical, you're freaking winning, and you need to allow yourself to be strong in that sense, because every day we struggle and every day there's a battle that we're facing. And if we're getting up, then we're being strong about things. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're facing ourselves, the person in the mirror. So that's why for me, that kind of, it was something that my dad started. And then I just like, now it's mine and it belongs to me and it means something huge to me. And I want it to belong to other people. I want other people to own it and be just as strong with whatever the you know, challenges that they're facing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that that's huge. And I think it's a daily thing, right?
Yes.
To be strong it's more than just like, it's funny because it's like I see it, like I see the words and I know that the intentionality behind it, but I think that it's so much more than just that, right? It's just being able to, like you said, face what you're going through.
Yes.
And take it head on for whatever difficulties that may face. And that's where the real strength for me, I see that play out through everyday hardships that we go through, every other people and other people that have already kind of, you know, shared their stories with us through how, like, you know, just how they're using those words for themselves. Right. And I think it's cool because it is, you know, if you look at the logo, it is a bee and a flexing arm.
Yes.
So I think that it's cool because, you know, it's whether you are tired, you don't want to wake up the next morning, if you got some mental things that you're battling through, if your physical is tired and you're beat up, it's about, you know, facing that and moving through it, baby.
Yes, it is. And honestly, like when we were coming up with the ideas of like creating an actual like vision logo, not just the words, a lot of that came from my thoughts of when my arm was broken. Because because for the doctor was saying that the nerves in my arm, in my hand were shot. Like I wasn't going to be able to write. I wasn't going to be able to like move my fingers the same because my hand was twisted completely around. So for me, that was also another thing that I wanted to put out there. Like I can actually flex still, and I'm going to flex. And my flex is not about being cocky. My flex is about every single day I wake up and I'm strong, no matter what. And no one's going to stop me. No matter how much surgery, physical therapy, I'm going to get through it. And here I am. And that was like another really big part of why I wanted to add the flex to the logo. Yeah. Which I'm sure you didn't even know.
I didn't even really know that part about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, it adds another dimension to it for me because I know how much that hand gives you trouble.
Yes.
During the winter, or if you're like, I can't write that. You got to write that because my hand is all messed up. My handwriting's all messed up.
My handwriting is still messed up. Like I was in college writing papers with my left hand, and my professor was like, he knew because I had like a cast because I had just had surgery. Like I have pins all the way down here. There's pins all the way down on my wrist going throughout my entire hand because of the way my hand was broken. So like now I can write, but like literally for maybe 5 minutes, and then it becomes like Jell-O on the paper, and that's something that I have to live with. And nobody won me. Like no one got one on me for that. Because I'm still moving forward and I still will write, even if you don't understand what the heck I'm saying or writing, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. I think that does add like another layer to the logo. That's cool. That, you know, it completes the story a little bit, you know? So that's dope to know that, right?
Yes.
So anything else? Do we have is there any other gold in these cards?
No, I mean, the only gold that I had was like, there was 1 in 15 children are exposed to intimate partner domestic violence each year. 90% of these children are eyewitnesses to this violence. And the only thing that I could think of was when my hand was broken, my 4-year-old son just turned the corner and saw exactly what happened. Yeah. And when I think back to that, it is heart crushing. It breaks my heart every single day that I allowed some of that to happen and him to be an eyewitness. And I every day have to deal with the fact that I wasn't strong enough at that point to get away until one day I just literally woke up and got away. And honestly, that just comes from losing someone in my life who was also going through a lot of domestic violence as well. And that person not being mentally stable enough to be strong, to get out, to know her worth, to know that she could have been here today and been such a great part of our lives, you know? So that was another push for me. And that was my wake up call. And because of that person, like I owe a lot to that person because I looked up to that person so much. And unfortunately, domestic violence and whatever mental illnesses she was dealing with took her out. And because of that, it makes me just want to continue to spread love, spread worth to anyone who feels worthless and anyone who feels like they can't get out of a situation. You can. You are loved, you are strong, and you need to be strong. And it just means a lot to me to say that to anyone every day, you know, like that's why I wake up and I do those things, because I want people to know that there is an outlet and you will win, you know?
Yeah.
So, whew.
Well, that's huge. Yeah. So if you're not already following this lady's Instagram, she does little wake up calls every morning to give a little bit of encouragement and a push to people to be strong. And that is part of the mantra that you give every morning is you are loved, you are strong, be strong.
Yes.
I think that's valuable. Yeah. And we're here to share love.
Yes.
And, you know, I think that we're very proud of the site and just of the idea that we're pushing forward for mental health, for domestic abuse, and to really just put a little light on that, to give some people light.
Yes.
You know,
anyone who's still going through it, like, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid.
And it's not just about domestic abuse, but that's a big part of, you know, your story.
Yes.
And it's a big part of this brand, but it's more than that. It's the mental health aspect of it. I think that's
because we all struggle still. Like anyone who has been a victim or survivor will always struggle with certain things, you know, like I can't deal with a man raising his voice to me, period.
Yeah.
You know, and those are just because of my PTSDs, you know, aggression. I can't deal with a man calling me stupid. Like there's just a lot of things that go into that, you know? So yeah, it's mental health and knowing that you can recover and that you're not damaged goods. You're, you know, you can be valuable by once you decide to move forward, whatever that looks like, you know, in your life, you know? So but yes. It's my collection is the all black everything collection right now. So everything on there, all the merch is black. And this is one of the crop tops hoodies. And then I can't do it. I got my beanie on as well. And this is a full hoodie.
The full hoodie.
The full hoodie. He's
Comfy.
not into the crop tops. Yep.
No, yeah.
We have some racerback tanks. We got unisex tanks. We got t-shirts for flex t-shirts, words. We have leggings, shorts. And, you know, I plan to expand, but I'm taking it one step at a time, guys. So it would be awesome if you guys support. I would love to see every single warrior rep my stuff. The Be Strong brand is here and it's not going anywhere.
No, yeah. And it's cool because when you wear something, not only are you wearing it to, you know, be strong for yourself, but for others. And I think that that's a super cool part about it, right?
Yes, yes.
So, yeah. So
Check
this
it
is
out,
Meet
guys.
the Others.
Yes. Check it out. EmpowerMyCloset.com. And yeah, check it out. Scroll through. There's some kid stuff. Check it out, you know, see what you like.
We'll drop a link
yes.
in all the descriptions of
Yes, we will.
wherever you see this at, wherever you hear this at.
Yes. And if you don't follow us, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Hit us up on Facebook. We always put our videos on Facebook, full videos. We put little smidgens of reels on our Instagram, and, you know, just follow us on our platforms, you know. And if you see these faces, then you know exactly who you're following. So give us a follow, guys.
Yeah, check us out.
But I think we're out of here now.
I think this is it, baby.
Yes. Well,
Till next time.
Love
y'all.
Why Meet the Others podcast? What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
We
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards. Gives me comfort. So
I hear you.
yeah. So anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, so they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live, cause we die alone.